Hello guys! Now in this video it's time for comparison. We will be comparing 3 tanks designed for bases. I prepared 5 sets of BRUMS, which in quantities there are 95 tanks. Then I got 15 sets of SP6s, which in quantity they are 105 tanks. And as last, 5 groups of SP2s, which in quantities they are 235 tanks. Base they were attacking was prepared with 30 long-range flags, but no upgraded armor. I tried to make the attack as similar as possible, so it gives you the best reflection of how each group can destroy the base. In regards to the groups, I wanted to make sure that I've got relatively same amount of tanks overall, with the exception for SP2, because with 4 groups or less I wouldn't be able to take that base. I can tell you now that the highest damage out of those 3 tanks obviously comes from SP6s. The total damage of 15 groups, that's nearly 4 million damage. Where, in comparison, SP2s with 5 groups, that gives you 2 million damage, and 5 groups of BRUMS gives only 1 million damage. And in terms of costs, SP6, that's over 300 million of steel. SP2s, that's 185 million of steel. And BRUMS, they're 275 million of steel. So the BRUMS, they're nearly as much as SP6s. There is one thing about the BRUMS, and that was quite surprising for me, because I only have 5 groups of those, and they've got 4 times less damage overall than SP6's 15 groups. Okay? But if you read the description, it says good against bases, and then with armor bonus on heavy fire from the base defense. So they don't tell you what is the bonus of armor, but this is the same thing as with skinks. They tell you that it's got high weapons range against aircraft, but you don't know how much. What we do know, that is definitely much further than double. Okay, so with BRUMS, when the game tells you that it's got a bonus on armor, it means that they can withstand much more than any of the other vehicle against bases. So you have to remember. And if you look at that video, you can see that these tanks, the BRUMS, last the longest. Last the longest because obviously they need more time to do the damage, the same as, for example, SP6s, right? Like, I mean, to be precise, 4 times more time. Okay, but if you can see that the damage was taken much less to them in comparison to SP6s or SP2s. I will try one day to make just BRUMS instead of Bredas when we all be attacking a base, and just want to see how would that attack looks like. I think the BRUMS should last longer than Bredas, even though they're twice as less. So I will give it a go and obviously let you know the outcome of it. Looking at that comparison, it was quite interesting for me, even because I thought when the game introduced the SP2s, I thought they will be better than they are, in reality, because they cost lots of money. They're a kind of replacement of Bredas, but they are much more expensive. And as you can see on this video, they barely took that base down. I mean, I couldn't remember, there are almost twice as much of them than BRUMS or SP6s, right? So you know, it's, yeah, I don't know whether I will be using those guys. It's either SP6s in large quantities or BRUMS instead of Bredas. But again, I will come back to that one once I have tested them. In this video, obviously, example was the base with standard armor, but when we considering attacking a base with the upgraded armor, looking at it all, I think out of those three, BRUMS would be probably the most useful. The reason for that is that SP6s, of course, they've got like almost 4 million damage, but you need 15 groups. You need 15 groups, and those 15 groups, they're gonna take entire space in front of the base, which means that if you are using the Bredas as you supposed to, you know, there is no place for SP6s. So you need to choose. You're either gonna send 15 SP6s or more, and you're gonna use them as sort of bite, which is obviously quite expensive bite, or you use, if you don't want to use Bredas, of course, you can use BRUMS, because they not only got much better damage than Bredas, but they can withstand much more damage from the base. So I think if you are playing with the big boys, let's say, I think the BRUMS probably is the best option, at least out of those three. Whether replace them with Bredas, well, I'm not quite sure, because obviously Bredas are cheap, but yeah, I will probably need to do the video about that as well. Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. I hope that was useful. It was quite different. I hope that this is not too small for the screen. If it is, the next time I will try to do it in a different way. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and please do leave in a comment section any suggestion of what the next video should be about. So as of now, please enjoy the rest of this fantastic comparison video, and I will see you in the next one.
You've got a spirit that radiates.